Hello Year 2, I hope you're all keeping very well. This is Miss Louise and today we are going to do our topic on famous people. We are going to look at Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl was a famous British novelist and poet. He was born in Cardiff, Wales, as you can see marked on the map. However, both his parents were Norwegian. He was born on September the 13th, 1916. That's over 100 years ago. He died 30 years ago in 1990. Despite being one of the world's best authors, his teachers always said that he would never make to anything with writing. While Roald Dahl was a young man, he served in the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. He rose to fame in the 1940s for his writing and became one of the world's best-selling authors. His books have sold more than 250 million copies worldwide, and many have been made into movies, and some I think you may be familiar with. A very famous one, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Dahl's writing belongs to three different genres: fiction, which means the stories are not true; children's literature, obviously stories for children; and fantasy, so many of the stories have magic in and creatures that are not real. That brings us to the first book I want to tell you about. The BFG, the Big Friendly Giant. It's about a little girl who goes on an adventure and meets a giant. We then come to Matilda, a little girl who can move things with her mind. Some very interesting characters within this story which I think you will love. We will look at later on. And my all-time favourite, The Witches. It's a little boy named Luke who has some pretty horrible encounters with some witches. And then of course we have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which we will look at in a bit more detail later. Then we have James and the Giant Peach. Obviously it's a little boy called James, and he goes on an adventure in a giant peach and meets some very, very interesting characters along the way. And then we have Fantastic Mr. Fox, a very clever and witty fox, and we also meet some pretty horrible characters in that as well. The first story that we're going to look at is Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I won't go into too much detail as I want you to read it. Let's meet our character, Charlie Bucket. Charlie's from a poor family, but a very kind boy. He dreams of going to the chocolate factory. The chocolate factory's been closed for many years, but one day the owner, Willy Wonka, decides to send 5 golden tickets out in his Wonka bars. Whoever finds the tickets gets to go to the chocolate factory. Nobody has been there for years. Sadly, 4 of the tickets are won by the most awful children. Charlie is the 5th child to win a golden ticket. Now, we get to meet Violet Beauregard. She's a very competitive young girl. We meet Mike TV, a little boy obsessed with TV, not the nicest of characters. Augustus Gloop, the fat boy, very greedy. And Veruca Salt, the most spoiled child you could possibly meet. And then we meet Willy Wonka, the owner of the chocolate factory, a very weird and wonderful character. Within his factory there are many wonderful things. We also get to meet his helpers, the Oompa Loompas, a made-up creature, again bringing the story into the world of fantasy. So that's just a quick look at one of Roald Dahl's stories. Again, I didn't go into much detail, as I would love for you to pick the book up one day and read it yourself. Now, we're going to have a little look at one of Roald Dahl's other stories. This short passage is from the book The Giraffe and the Belly and Me. We have tears in our heart. We have waved our goodbyes. We so loved being with you, we three. So please now and then, come and see us again. The giraffe and the belly and me. All you do is to look at a page in this book, because that's where we will always be. No book ever ends when it's full of your friends, the giraffe and the belly and me. I love this passage as it shows that there's a lot of magic in books. Let's see what we can remember from the lesson. Where was Roald Dahl born? If you said Cardiff, Wales, you're correct. What was the story about the fox called? If you said Fantastic Mr. Fox, fantastic. Who is the rather weird and wonderful character who owns the chocolate factory? Correct, Willy Wonka. How many golden tickets did Willy Wonka put in the chocolate bars? If you said 5, you're absolutely right. Our last question. Who can remember what Willy Wonka's helpers were called? If you said Oompa Loompas, you're correct. Now, I want to finish up with a lovely quote by Roald Dahl. A little magic can take you a long way. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, Year 2, and I cannot wait for the next lesson with you. Take care and goodbye.